ABC6 weather with meteorologist Tyler Hughes. Brought to you by the Preserve Sporting Club and Resort.
Well, today's Monday, but it's also the last day of June, and so it's a good day to look back at the month that was June 2025. And, you may feel like it's been a relatively hot month of June. That's because we've had a lot of hot days recently, right? But when you take a look at the numbers, we actually had about the same. One more day was above average than below average in terms of June 2025 so far. And I do think we'll chalk up today as another above average day by the end of the day today. So temperatures right now, we're in the 60s out there. We're sitting at 65 in the capital city, 66 North Kingstown, 64 down on the block, and 61 in New Bedford. But by this afternoon, we have lots of sunshine in play, and that will allow temperatures to climb up into the mid 80s, even the upper 80s in some places. Although I do think a sea breeze out of the south will keep things just a bit cooler if you're along the south coast or any of the islands. So just keep that in mind. If you're headed to the beach, should be a really nice day for it, though. A few clouds around, temperature right around 80. Just keep in mind that the UV index will be high this afternoon, so make sure you're applying and reapplying that sunscreen, right? But if you like to head in the water too, rip current risk is relatively low. The water is a little bit chilly, though, so just something to keep in mind. Low tide just a few moments ago, 5:46 a.m., and a high tide is coming up around noon. So if you're going to want to go for a walk on the beach, the next couple of minutes are looking pretty good for that. All right, high pressure in control, but we have this front that approaches our area tomorrow, this warm front. Now, what the warm front brings in the morning as it passes through is a chance for a few showers, maybe a rumble of thunder, but then it ushers in this warm, humid air for the day tomorrow, and that will serve as fuel for some thunderstorms that move through with the cold front tomorrow evening. So the cold front is like the spark that ignites off all the fuel in the form of some thunderstorms. So in terms of what we're thinking for the thunderstorms, between 6 and 11 o'clock, and we'll hone in on that range tomorrow as the guidance, the models become a little bit more specific, right? Locally, 1 inch of rainfall, isolated downpours, not out of the question here. Lightning as well with these storms. Remember that when you hear thunder, the safest place to be is inside. If you're on the beach, you should probably go seek shelter inside or in a car. And gusty winds as well. Some of these storms could turn severe. When you step it through on Futurecast here, you see 8 o'clock or so. They're forming in western Massachusetts, Connecticut, and then slowly pushing into our area. Although after sunset, that's when these storms will begin to fizzle out a little bit. The good news in terms of July 4th events, though, is things are looking pretty good, all things considered. Wednesday, if you're headed to the Providence fireworks, that's looking good. The only one I put a meh face on, that's Thursday. That's the fireworks in New Bedford. And that's because we do have another chance for some rainfall. So you see with the storms tomorrow that could be strong to severe, we have another chance for some thunderstorms on Thursday, although I think those will be more of the garden variety thunderstorms. Nothing severe on Thursday. That's the good news. When you look at the 7-day forecast here, temperatures climb into the upper 80s by the end of this week. Then they drop off a bit, but July 4th looking very comfortable. 82 degrees the high there, and we remain in the 80s for the 4th weekend, Cara.